So welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, a little bit info about myself is my name's Ian Sullivan. I own a 1993 Nissan 240 SX, and in today's video, we're going to be diving into to 5 things that I love and 5 things that I hate about my car and just maybe the 240s in general. So let's get to it. So I have my phone here, which has like all the stuff that I've written down, just so that I can remember it easier rather than trying to like remember it in my head. Okay, so number 1, why I love it so much. Attention grabber. Why I say that is because, well, it's a 240. You go to a car show, you go to any kind of show, you know what it is right as you see it. You know the taillights, you know the body, you know the front end. You just know it. That's why I like it so much, and that's why when you say the name, people are like, "Oh, you have a 240." You know, that's it's just kind of one of those things where it makes you feel good about yourself that you get to own one. So number 2 is there's such a wide spectrum for building them. So what I mean by that is, so this car is mainly a drift car. When I bought it, it was a straight drift car. It was my daily, but I'm gonna be kind of making it into a drift car, a street car, a daily, kind of in that spectrum. But I'm not gonna thrash it as much as if I had like a beater car, because I spent a lot of time and money into this car. So I kind of want to make it special. Why I also say that it has such a wide spectrum is because 240s have such a vast amount of aftermarket support for them. Like, they're just like Jeeps in the off-road world. They have so many different like companies, so many different building ideas that you can go off of to kind of make your own. So that's why I like them so much, because you can kind of do whatever you want. Drift car, drag car, street car, daily, you know, whatever. So this next one kind of goes into what I just said. It's a great drift car and a great ultimate car. Now, it's a great drift car because they're like the kings of drift. And by ultimate car, I mean, these cars are so like stable and just so like fun to drive that whatever you do, it's gonna be awesome. So like when I had this, when it was like straight stock, when I was driving around, it cornered very well. Even though it was on stock suspension, it still cornered up very well, like, believe it or not. And that's why I love it so much, because it's such a great ultimate car for whatever you want to do. So moving on to the next one, they're rare. Now, you may not believe that, but they are. You know, you try to go through Craigslist, you try to go through OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, wherever, they're really rare. You don't see as much as you used to, especially for such a low price. Now, when I bought this, I bought it for $2,700, and it had 220,000 miles, which is a lot. Maybe it's a lot more than I'd like to pay for such a car like that, but I was young, and I wanted a 240, so I was like, all right, well, I'll send it. So, and they're rare. They're rare because when you try to go online and you try to find one, there's not very much out there. They're all salvaged. They're all beat to hell. They're already all built. You know, there's not much out there. You can really, the only really ones that are clean, as far as I've seen, are kind of tend to be the ones that are straight from Japan, the ones that are imported, the ones that have been touched, but not very much. They're still clean on the inside. Moving on to the next thing, number 4. There's a lot of respect with these cars. A lot of people have respect for them. Kind of what area, what kind of car enthusiast you are, if you're stanced, your track, your daily, your whatever, there's a lot of respect for them. A lot of people, if you tell them you have a 240, now what I'm saying is there's a lot of people, not all people, but a lot of people have a lot of respect for them and just kind of love the car as much as I do, which is great. I did say 5, and I will get into, at the end of the video, I'll tell you the 5 major ones. I've just written so many things down because there was such a lot of things that I loved about the car that I wanted to share with you guys. So, the availability for parts and on certain aspects. Now, what I mean by that is like anything you want to swap into the car, there's probably parts available for that. LS swaps, 2J swaps, 1Js, RBs, maybe even BMW motors, a bunch of Nissan engines, kind of whatever you want. K-swaps I've seen. So there's just a bunch of different things for these cars that makes it such vast and so awesome. So you can't beat it. There's availability of parts for anything, for suspension, for aero, motor swaps, interiors, it's not one of those cars where you're like trying to find parts for, having a struggle, because you won't. You'll always have parts. This next one is kind of personal to me and for a lot of people. It's, you gotta show yourself in your car. So what I mean by that is you gotta show your style, you gotta show your personality, you gotta show a lot of stuff that you like in your car. And I mean, a lot of people kind of share that mindset with the 240s, and with cars in general. You gotta kind of show your personality through a car, more than you could do with your own self sometimes. So that's why I love it so much, because I like RVs, so I put an RV in my car. My favorite color is black, so I bought a black car. That's kind of what I want to do. But things have changed, so you got to show yourself and what you like in the cars. The last one, so this is technically number 5, and this one is a big one for me. You get experience with the car and learning how to build cars. So that's why I love this car so much. It's because 240s they're 50-50. They're easy to work on, but they're a pain in the ass sometimes, because there's so much stuff for them that it's easy to work on and easy to find parts for, but sometimes working on them can be a pain in the ass, and there's gremlins all over the place, so you're just fighting a battle. But travel back in time 3 years ago when I was just coming out of senior year, I had knowledge about cars, about kind of taking care of cars, but I really neglected my 240, like really bad. So going through that, it made me realize, okay, maybe I shouldn't start taking care of my vehicles, and that's why I take care of so much of my truck. And you can see that. But I learned a lot with this car, learning how to build it, build an engine for one, learning how to be disciplined about when to spend my money and what's important and prioritize, and just learning how to experience things with your friends, because a lot of this stuff wasn't me. It wasn't just only me that was building it. It was all my friends, and it really was also my dad, because me and my dad have spent a lot of time and money in this car, and I got to share that experience with him. And even my girlfriend, we all experience. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to 5 things I hate about this car. And this is, again, my opinions, not anybody else's. You probably all think differently than I do, which is fine. Think what you want. You hate my opinion, don't. It's perfectly okay. That's why I'm making this video. Okay, so 5 things I hate about my 240 and 240s in general. Number 1, the Rarity. I hate it, because when I try to find other cars, other different types of 240s that I want to buy, it's so hard to find them. They're so rare, and they're so, they're just, people keep them in the dark, all the clean ones. And that's why I hate it so much. And one day they might go extinct, so I hate that, because people are just freaking thrashing them in the walls, which is okay. I'm all about sending it into a wall. But it just sucks. It's just one of those things that sucks. So the next one, they're expensive. They're so expensive. This car is, I don't even want to tell you the price of how much we've paid, me and my dad have paid together into this car. So much money is in this one car. It's not even funny. Think about it, and I'm like, holy shit. But anyway, they're expensive. If you're gonna think about getting a 240, just be mindful. You know what? If you're thinking about getting a 240 and you wanted to mod it to a point that I did with the swap, you really need to think about it and discipline yourself and be ready for it. Because I wasn't ready, and the first part or getting into it was a complete train wreck. So the third thing is the negativity that people have against the owners. And what I mean by that is, usually when I say when I talk about 240s, or when I bring up other people with 240s, some people kind of are like, oh, you have a 240? Or, oh, why do you own that shit box? It's just one of those things people just throw shade to, or just people talk crap about a lot of the 240s. And I'm not gonna lie, I've done it in the past, but the more I've grown as a person, the more it's like, all right, maybe that, I'm not gonna bash on anybody's car. I don't want to bash on that guy's 240 because I own one, so why would I bash on him? So just that's another thing I hate, is that people just throw so much shade against them. So the fourth thing I hate about my 240 personally, this one's a personal one again, is the RB20 parts, because they suck to find. They honestly really do. They really suck to find, and if you're thinking about swapping an RB into it and going to the extent that I did, just know you're gonna have troubles. You're gonna have issues trying to find parts as much as maybe it's not as much as I did. Maybe you have friends that have more knowledge and know where to find better deals and better, someone that has a warehouse. Maybe that's your case. Maybe you'll be better off than I did. But my experience and my own opinion, it's been a pain in the butt, a real pain in the butt. And for number 5, and I'm sure a lot of people that have cars that are building them, but we'll go through this and we'll agree with this, but I'm sure a lot of the 240 guys, problems over and over. So what I mean by that is, with this car, I've had just nothing but problems. Just like in a consistent pattern, you fix one thing and another thing breaks. And that's just the rule of thumb for working on any car, any vehicle, but especially this freaking thing. It's just like, it's the name of the game for that. So that kind of sucks. So that's kind of like the fifth and final thing of why I hate this. It's just because it's problems over and over, which is my own opinion, that's also another rule of thumb. You get upset with your cars because when you're trying to fix stuff, it's a part of it. That's how it goes. So I get upset. So the 5 things I love: attention grabber, wide spectrum for building, a great car, drift car, and ultimate car. Number 3, it's rare. You have respect for people you have respect. People have respect for it. You have respect for other people that have it. Availability is number 4. Availability of parts on certain aspects. You get a lot of parts, a lot of wide spectrum for what you need to do, and it's a lot of fun. You can show yourself in the car, show your own personality, and you can just have a lot of fun with it. And number 5 is my experience, and experience that other people probably have with the car and learning about building cars, because they're easy to work on. So honestly, if you're looking for a car, as a teenager or someone that doesn't have a lot of knowledge on cars and just wants to build something or learn something, honestly, my personal recommendation would be something like a 240 or a Miata, if that's kind of what you're into. They're easy to work on, and parts, that's the best thing. So, and they're fun. You get to do a lot of stuff to them. You have a lot of mods, so they're fun. So that's the 5 things I love. 5 things I hate: the Rarity, like I said, they're expensive, a lot of negativity that people have for them and have against them, the RB20 parts, specifically those, is my own personal, and the problems I have over and over with the car, and I'm sure that other people have with the car. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the broad spectrum of kind of the 5 things I love and 5 things I hate about this car, and probably 240s in general. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and comment down below on maybe if you agreed with what I said, if you agreed on what I hate and what I love, or maybe if you disagree. Just put something in there maybe you don't like, maybe you do like. Just let me know. I just kind of like reading what other people have to say. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace out.